The story of the Principality of Islandia first made headlines in an article featured on CNN Travel. Since then, the story has seen a lot of traction here in Belize. Many Belizeans, upon hearing of the idea of investors crowdfunding the purchase of an island off the coast of Belize to establish their own nation state, or a micronation, have raised strong objections. The story has even garnered a response from the Prime Minister of Belize, who said this on Tuesday.
There are some stupid people. Next question.
And while those words from the Prime Minister may come off as offensive, Marshall Mayer, the co-founder of Let'sBuyAnIsland.com, the company behind the purchase of Coffee Key, told us via Zoom that he takes no offense.
I'm not offended, personally. I do think there's been a misunderstanding, fundamentally. The idea of that we're actually trying to declare some form of independence is misleading at worst, and at best, and flat out wrong at worst. It's the misunderstanding here, I think, comes from this concept of micronation, which may not be familiar to all people.
A micronation is described as a small area or political entity that claims national sovereignty but is not recognized by other sovereign states. Mayer says this micronation is a fictitious concept with a group of like-minded people whose aim is development.
Yes, the term is micronation, and it is a niche marketing tool, an interesting thing that some people get involved in, but it is not an attempt, and we would never dream of formally trying to separate from any nation, especially one that's been as kind to host us as Belize has been, and with as nice people as Belizean people have been to us.
So you would say that the biggest misunderstanding is that you're trying to separate yourself from Belize as a separate state?
Yeah, I think that is the biggest misunderstanding, and it's absolutely not the case.
Why does it bother you that this is the perception, at least that this is initially being painted or is painted in the minds of Belizeans?
Because I want to be a part of the Belizean, business world. I want to be a part of the Belizean culture. I want to contribute to it, and I don't want it to tear people apart from each other or from us, to feel like we're somehow treating Belize with any form of disrespect, or anyone in Belize, with any form of disrespect. And the exact opposite is true.
Mayer says he agreed to conduct the initial interview with CNN to build some hype around the investment and get people talking. That they did, as their emails are now inundated with requests for information on investment opportunities in Belize. But the global spotlight also came with negative reactions. It's in this fictitious nation state. There is a prince, an elected prince, correct?
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a title of prince that we're going with just as part of the tongue-in-cheek aspect of this project. Obviously, they hold no real power.
You also have a prime minister, am I right?
Also correct, yes. But again, it's part of the marketing ploy of the project, and again, is our prime minister, while she's great as a person, she's also a lawyer, and she knows exactly where she stands. There is she's her duties, effectively, if you want to call them that, stay in the realm of helping to deal with our investors, answering media inquiries and things like that.
You also have a national flag.
Yes. So some people will say, they'll point to the fact that we put together a flag, a coat of arms, or an anthem. To me, that's a banner, a logo, and a theme song.
Would you recite a portion of the national anthem for us?
I will not, because I actually don't remember any of it.
Aren't you the elected prince?
I was for a time. I gave up my title, if you will, to another one of our investors about a year ago.
So whether a marketing ploy or a fantasy, Mayer will certainly need to convince Prime Minister John Briceño of his true intentions, if he happens to get a meeting.
We would never allow anybody to have their own country within this country, man. That's a stupid thing. I mean, obviously, if you're stupid enough to go and pay a lot of money to buy a piece of land and that, good for you.
So you've had no...
Obviously, it has absolutely no support from the government, and certainly I don't think, and if it is, it will change it, that the ministry or BTB or anybody in tourism could say, okay, as a marketing strategy, you say, buy an island and have your own country. It's not going to happen.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.